Hey there, I'm Paul with MadCap Software, and we are continuing this video series on print-based output. And in this one, we're going to take a look at just the easy way to create this. So I get it. If you are looking at this whole idea of print-based output and you're thinking, hey, I just want to get going. I'm not that picky. I just want to get some print-based output going. I want my company's logo in there, my company's colors. I just want to go. So that's what this video is about. I'm going to take you through a couple of things. Number one, I'm going to show you the easiest thing that you can do, which is using a template. And then I'm going to show you the second easiest thing you can do if you're not using a template, how to just build this from scratch, just the main things to get going. And I'll take you through each area, each piece of that. So let's get started with the easiest thing to do. So the absolute easiest way to create print-based output from Flare is to use a project template. So you're here in Flare on the start page and you click New Project. You get the wizard to come up. You give it a name. Now I am recording at a very low resolution here, and that's why I can't see the next and back buttons at the bottom of this. I'm just going to slide this off here and click next to go to the next page. And here are the templates. These are factory templates. And so you have these organized according to online and print, and then these are used for some tutorials. So what you want to do is pick a template from from this folder right here, online and print. If you want online, both, and print-based output, these are already set up, and you can just go through and get an idea of what they look like. All right, so side navigation, that's for online. The navigation is going to be on the side, and you get a PDF. Top navigation, online, it's at the top, you get a PDF. And then there's print. If you just want some print output, well, there's different kinds. There's brochure, there's policies and procedures, there's a product foldout, a user guide, which is essentially the same thing that the PDF is up in here. So I'm just going to select one of these. Again, I'm going to slide this off so I can click next on this. Hey, I'm going to interrupt this video just for a moment because since the time I originally recorded the video, there is a new page in the wizard that you'll probably really like, and that is this branding page. So after you select the target template, you're going to come in here and you can select your company colors. So up here, the primary color, maybe a secondary color, and then there are some ancillary colors in here. Font family, if there's something that you use, it's your main font. You can also replace the logo, both for online and print right there, and put in a hero image. And this will change accordingly so you can see your changes as you go. And it's a real quick way to provide some basic design to your project and branding for your company right up front so you don't have to worry about it later. Now, I actually have a video that explains branding in more detail. I'll put a link in the description if you want to check that out. And so after you're done with this page, you just click next. And we go here, and that's the available targets. Don't have to worry about that because you can change that anyway. And I'm going to click finish at the bottom of that, and it loads. All right. So now you have all your files in here, your topics. And you've got your project files in here, targets and skins and everything you're going to need for both online and print. And then you want to open up this PDF right here. And this is just going to take you through and tell you, all right, you've got this template. Now we want to get your company's colors in there. Do this. You want your company's logo? Do this. And then you're good. And all you're going to be changing then really, or the main thing you're going to be changing are the topics. You're going to replace, you're going to rename folders and you're going to rename topics and replace the content that's in these with your own. And the project is just set up so that when you build your PDF from here, it's just going to work. Now you might need to go in as you add new topics and everything, and you're going to want to put them here into your This is a TOC file. It's really a TOC for online, but it's an outline for PDF. And you will be sliding them into here, and you'll get your print-based output. So I'm going to go ahead and build some PDF output just to show you what it's like right out of the box. Right-click on my PDF target, select Build PDF. It's going to go through and build this very fast because it's a very small project, and you're going to see what it looks like. Double click it to open it. Let me drag it over here. All right. And that's what your title page would look like. And you're going to produce your own logo and putting your own content in there. And as we go through, you're going to see, okay, table of contents looks like that. And then your topics start. Okay, and you got page numbers in here, footers, all of that. That's it. Very simple, very, very simple PDF. And you got a glossary in the back even. You don't have to use it, but you can. And an index in case you insert index keywords. And that's it. That's pretty easy. But let's say that you already have some online output. You already have a Flare project and you're using it for online output. You just don't have, you didn't start with a template. And so you want to go through the steps to put it together in the easiest way. That's what I'm going to cover in this next section. All right, now let's take a look at how to create print-based output from scratch, just using an easy method, concentrating on the basic parts. So let's start by creating a new project again. And all right, my cool project one, slide this over so I can click next. All right, next page, templates. And I'm just going to use an online one just so that we have something to work with here. So I'm going to use the side navigation template and click finish there. All right, so it's loaded. So I've got my files, my topics, all my files set up, but it's really just set up right now for online output. Again, the first thing that I would do is open up the template instructions, replace your colors, replace your logo, all that stuff, get that going. All right, now once you have that done, you've got your files, you've got those branding things in place. Now you can begin to add the pieces for your print-based output, and that's what I'm going to do in the rest of the sections in this video. First thing that we want to do is come here to our project organizer, open up targets. We have a target already called HTML5. That's an online target. So that's what we're going to generate in order to get our online output, but we need to add one for print-based. So I'm going to right-click my targets folder and select add target. And let's just say I'm going to call this PDF. And I am going to select as my output type PDF. Again, you could, if you wanted Word, you could select that or one of these other output types, depending. And actually, since the time I originally recorded this video, another print-based output type has been added, and that is PowerPoint. Even though people look at it usually online, it's kind of constructed in the same way that another print-based output type like PDF or Word are built. So you have that option as well. Depending on what you're trying to do, click Add, and I've got my target right there. It opens up. Now, right out of the box, let's just go ahead and build the output and see what we're dealing with. So I'm going to click this, and this will go fast. All right, it's done. Double click it. And this, drag this over. This is what it looks like. So you're going to notice some problems right away. All right, so we got a TOC. It generated that, right? For us. The problem is it's the very first thing you see, and you probably want a title page before that. So that's something you want to fix. But all of this works. All of these things that are in there, using that TOC outline, as I like to call it, it's pointing to these because it's just set up that way, and it's got your page numbers and stuff. And let me just, yeah, that'll be good. So you got that. And then you've got the start of your topics according to that outline. Now, you're looking at this going, well, the margins look pretty narrow in here. So that's another thing that you're probably going to want to fix. It doesn't have any page numbers. You probably want to put those in there, right? All the way to the end. Those are the topics that are in there. That's it. It ends right there. Okay. So we've added our PDF target, but we've got a little bit of work to do. Let's move on to the next section. Now, the next thing that I probably would do, I'm going to close this to get a little more space, is in my Content Explorer, I would probably create a folder that's designed just to hold topics that are meant only for print only output, and use a condition on it to keep it separate from the online stuff. So in here, I'm going to just go to the root, click on the folder thing, and I'm going to call this print only. You can call it whatever you want. And the reason why we want things in a separate folder and conditioned, for example, the title page, we're going to create our own title page. Well, you don't want that to show up in online output. Even if you don't include it in the TOC, if someone searched for it, it could find it. And so I like to prevent that. So I got my folder. Let's go to the project organizer, open up conditional text. These are just some default conditions that are already set. We've got some that are used for responsive output and online, this mobile, tablet, and web. I'm going to get rid of those just so that we're dealing with the bare minimum here. And it comes with one called print only and one called screen only. The idea is if you condition files or content with this one, the idea is that's only that stuff is only meant for your print output. This screen only is only meant for the online output. You can rename them whatever you want, but we'll go ahead and use these. So the print only, I'm going to apply that to this folder. And by applying it, just go down there, select properties, print on the conditional text tab, select print only. Okay, it shows it in red there. If you don't see that little square with the red, you can toggle on or off your condition markers. That's all those squares are for, to show conditions. And by putting it on the folder, I'm covering everything that I'm going to put in that. I don't have to put a condition on each one of those things. All right, so just kind of a safeguard there, first of all. All right, so what's next? Well, these things don't necessarily have to all be done in the order that I'm doing them, but I'm just thinking about that output that we previewed, and I'm working from top to bottom. And remember, we started out seeing that TOC, that generated TOC. And I'm thinking, I want a title page first. So let's tackle that. We want to create a topic that is going to be used for a print output for that title page. So I'm going to click this. I have my print only folder selected. Click this and select a factory template. And I'm just going to use the new topic one that's real basic. And I'm going to call this title in here and click add. Okay, so we have the basic placeholder text in here. That's my title page, and I can just type in here my cool PDF, whatever. And then this could be maybe a subheading in here, all about whatever. And I'm not styling it right now. I'm not going that far. I just want to get some content in here so you can see that this represents the title page. But of course, you could format this later, make it look however you want. And one of the things I'm going to show you later in this video series is how I'm going to use variables for things like the title so that this title page can be reused by multiple PDFs. But in this case, in this video, we're just concerned about one PDF. So that's all I'm going to do. Just type that stuff and leave it at that. So I added this title topic in here, but we need to make sure that it's included in the output. Just because I created it doesn't mean it's automatically going to be there. I mentioned this file right here, this TOC file. The thing is, again, this file right here, if your intention is to use it for online output, yes, it's a TOC. I'm going to go open it up and you can just see it's basically got the same structure as the folders and topics over here. So yeah, in online output, that is going to be, that's navigation. That is a TOC. But in print output, don't think of it as a TOC. Think of it as an outline. All this is it's you're telling it, hey, I want these things to be in my PDF and I want them to be in this order. Okay, so it's going to stitch all these are linked to a topic over in your Content Explorer. It's going to stitch them all together. Now I created this title topic. Where do I want that? I want that at the beginning, right up here. You notice that you don't see that generated TOC. That's the first thing we saw in the output, was that generated TOC. We don't see that here, and I'm going to show you why soon. But it is, Flare is putting it in there. All right, so we created this. We're making it a part of our output. However, in this project, this TOC right here file is doing double duty. It's being used for our online output and for our print output. I could create a separate one for my print output. In fact, I'm going to do that later in this video series. And that's probably a better idea to do if you have lots of PDFs. But in this case, I just have one. And the thing is, I want basically the same content in there. It's just some things I only want in print, some things I only want in online. So I can apply that condition that I applied to that topic title in here also if I wanted to. I'm just going to show you, this is a way to keep things in or out of online or print. So I'll select print only in here. Let me get that, click OK. And again, that's that red square showing the conditions, which you can toggle on and off right there. All right. So, and you might have things in here that you only want in print or in online. And so you could put a condition on those. I'm just going to leave it at this. So what's next? Well, we could add other topics and put them in here into the outline TOC as well and condition things, but we've already done that. We're just keeping this to a minimum. What's next? Let's say you got this outline TOC just the way that you want it. All right, well, we need a target. And so I already have one in here, the PDF, but I need to go in and select target settings. And actually I need to go into both because I need to make sure that streams aren't getting crossed here. That I'm not getting print stuff in the online one. In fact, I'll rename this HTML5 to online, just so we know for sure that's for online, and we want the stuff that's only intended for PDF in there. So I'm going to open up this online target first of all. And I know for sure that I want the conditions separated. Now, before I do that, on this general tab, you can see the TOC. What it is going to use a TOC, which one? Well, there's only one in here. And you can see this is already pointing to it. That's good. That's what we want. That's a shared TOC in this example. Conditional text, well, I need to come in here and tell it, all right, I have these conditions in here, but it doesn't mean anything unless I give it direction. So print only, I want to exclude from my online output. The screen only, I want to include. All right, I'm going to save that. Let's open up the PDF. And in here, General tab, I haven't told it which TOC. In this case, I wouldn't need to because there's only one. And it's going to use the default, which is that one. But I'll go ahead and select it in case I add more of these TOC files in the future. Go to conditional text. It's just the opposite of what we did. I'm going to include the print only, exclude the screen only. Save that. What else do we want to do with our PDF target? We want to come down here to the Advanced tab. And I just want to show you the reason why we got that TOC, generated TOC, right out of the gate, in the output, and we didn't do a thing, is because this option right here, Generate TOC Proxy. If you haven't done something otherwise, and you select this, it's just going to create this TOC proxy in the place where it thinks it should go at the top. Now, it also has index proxy and glossary proxy. So if you have index keywords that are inserted into your different topics, if you've created a glossary, which you see the glossary file over here, or the glossary folder, don't have a glossary in there. If I had those, it would have generated these too and put them at the end. All right. So I just want to point out that's why we're getting our TOC, and this is a very, very easy way to do it. The thing is, if you use this option, you just limit your flexibility, how much you can go in and edit the thing, because it's just happening automatically behind the scenes. And then we can come down to the PDF options tab. There's a whole bunch of options throughout the target editor, but I'm just showing you the main ones to pay attention to if you're creating PDF output. So this is your metadata, things behind the scenes, a lot of this with your PDF. So you got image compression stuff in here. I'm going to go in here and I forget what I called this, my cool PDF. All right, so that's just my metadata in the properties of the PDF that gets generated. And then for author, I could change that to my company. And there are other options in here if you want to explore these. We'll talk about some more when we get into the later videos. But yeah, we're just keeping it very, very simple here. Going to save that. Now let's build this target once again, and let's view and see what's different, if anything. All right, so it's finished. Let's open this up. Come back over here. And I'm going to change this, get it smaller, 50%. Starts out with that TOC still. Oh, all right. And you come down here. Well, there's my cool PDF. That was my title page. There's my subtitle, and then it goes in, and all the rest is the same, and the margins are the same, everything. So I created that title page, and it didn't get up there. Why is that? Well, that's what we're going to cover in addition to some of these other things in the next section. All right, we're getting closer. We only have a few sections, short sections left in here, but obviously there's some things we want to make right. Let's review the problems. The title page isn't in the right place. We want it on top of the TOC. Margins are weird. There's no page numbers. So all of this can be solved through page layouts. Close that thing. So page layouts are these files that just kind of lie underneath your the pages in your PDF, and so you control margins and page numbers and things like that through your page layouts. So you can create these in your Content Explorer and store them wherever you want, but what we suggest is that you store them here under resources with your images and style sheets and so forth, and create a folder for them is a good idea. You can even create subfolders. You can name this whatever you want, but this is sort of the recommended name. If you don't, supply one, this is what Flare would supply for you. Then page layouts name like that for the folder. And now we want to create a page layout for that title page. So I'm going to right-click that folder, select New, and Page Layout. All right, so I get these templates, factory templates in here. Some of these are, A4. Legal letter. So some of like A4 that would have a page size in centimeters. Letter is 8.5 by 11. Some of these are designed for chapters or front matter or whatever. And I could select any of these because I can change it as I want. Well, title is front matter. And so I could just start with that, select that template, and let's give it a name. Let's call it title. The thing is, if I were to, the reason why I selected front matter is because it already has some page layouts are made up of one or more pages with different page types, and front matter already has one that I know is going to work because it's designed for front matter. So that's why I selected that. But it's, if I selected one of the others, it wouldn't necessarily have those same pieces, but it's okay. Any of these you can add, delete, change, whatever you need. All right, so I'm going to click add in here, and this is what I get. So this on the right side are different kinds of pages. with page types, and you can tell because they're different because these letters on them. So this L stands for a left page. This is a right page. This is a first page, F. T is title, E is empty. And you can add also what's called a normal page in case you don't care about something being on the left side or the right side or the first page or whatever. Let's see. Let's scale that. Let's change this so that we can see more of it in here. Let's fit the height. Well, we're not going to be able to see much there. Let's fit the width. All right. So if I select one of these, you can see each page has these frames. These are called frames. So this is a header frame. So you can imagine this is going to populate in the output with stuff you want at the top, the header. This is a body frame. Every page, almost, except for, I guess, empty, needs a body frame. So things coming from your topics are going to populate in that space. And you can see that the page has a certain configuration. It's longer than it is wider. And this one is using letter, so it's at 8.5 by 11. And you can see that's the body frame, and then there's a footer frame. So header, footer, body, and there are a couple of other frames that we'll talk about throughout the course of this video. So what do we want in here? Well, we just want something for our title page. We don't need all these page types in here, so I'm going to get rid of some of these. I'm going to right click and remove left. I'm going to remove right. I'm going to remove first. I'm going to keep title, and I'm going to remove E for empty. And so I have that selected, and you can see there's sort of this text in here. It says title. That's just for your internal purposes. It isn't going to show up on the page. You double click this, you can see the properties. All right, it's 8.5 by 11. You can change things in here. This is the important thing, page type, title. And by selecting something as a title page, Flare is going to know if you have that TOC proxy selected in your target, it's going to know, hey, if you've got this page type, this should go in front of the TOC. That's the magic that's going to happen for us here. I'm going to click OK. You can see that there are, you can make changes to margins and background and different things in here as well. I'm going to click OK because you don't have to use the properties there. You can just click and drag also if you want. I am going to change. So these margins looks like 1 inch at the top, 1 inch on the right. I'm going to click and drag this over here so that it is 1 inch. There it is. I'm looking at the ruler at the top. You can see the orange line is right on the 1. And so I know that's 1 inch. And the bottom looks okay. So got our margins in here, and that's good. All right, so we have, this is going to be used for our front matter, for our title. And we also want some page layouts. We want a page layout for our chapters. We want our chapters to be a little bit different. We don't want a page number necessarily on our title page, but we do on our chapters. So let's create a chapters page layout as well. So I'm going to right click, page layouts, new page layout. And this time I'm going to select, let's do chapter letter. And I'll just call this chapters and click add. And you can see they're both under here now. And so again, I get left, right, F for front, or first, actually, E for empty. And as I click on each one of them, it changes over there on the left. So the question is, well, do you want all this stuff in here? Do you want different left and right? I'm just going to keep this very, very simple in here. So I'm going to remove everything except for that first page type. Let's remove this. Let's remove this. Let's remove the empty page. And we got the first page. Now, what do we have in here? Well, the margins, let's change the view to width. I want to maybe fix this left margin, get this at 1 inch over here. There. All right, down at the bottom, that looks good. Now I've got this footer, and I want to make this also 1 inch there. That aligns. Great. And it's already got a page number, what's called a page number variable in here. It's already set. And so we've got the footer. So all of my chapters are going to use this page, even though this is first, it's the only one I have. So they're all going to use this page layout. Let's save that. So there, we just have a couple of page layouts that we're going to use. And now let's move on and let's see how we implement these. All right, we're just about done. So we have these page layouts, we've got our topics, we've got our outline TOC. Now we just kind of need to connect them all. I'm going to go back to this outline TOC file in here. So we've got the pieces, the links to the topics in here, but what we want to do is integrate the page layouts, let it know what should use what. All right, so in here, I've got my title page. And so I'm going to open this, just double click it, or if you just select it, you can click this little button right here, the properties button, and it opens up this dialog right here. Okay, so I want to go to the printed output tab, and this is where I'm going to tell it. What do I want? So first of all, break type. Well, I can do a chapter break or a page layout break. And this is just our title page up here. All I need to select is page layout break. You would select chapter break if you wanted something to be designated as a new chapter, or it's going to use page numbers, something like that. But our title page, we just need page layout break. Then what page layout? Well, I created two of them. I want my title page in here. What's the page type? I only have one. It's title. And that's pretty much it for that one. So can I click? I'll slide this off to the side and click OK there. All right, so that one is set. Now what's going to come after that is that auto-generated TOC, and it's just going to use the same page layout because I didn't specify, I didn't create my own TOC proxy. That's what it's called, and associate it. So it's just going to use the same one that I set up here. All right, so now I come down to the next thing, which is the start of my chapters, even though I don't, I haven't set this up really with chapter auto numbering or anything like that. I'm going to open up the properties for that book that is linked to a topic, the getting started topic. I'm going to come in here and I'm going to select chapter break here because I want to use page numbers. That page layout has page number variables in it. And I'm going to select my chapters page layout. And I only have that first page type. That's what I want it to start out with. And page numbers, what do I want to do? I could reset it to 1, or I could increment it. So you got your title page and then your generated TOC. And let's say that your first page of your first chapter starts on page 3 or page 5. That's what it would say. If you wanted to say 1, you could, choose that. And then what's the format? Well, I'm going to use decimal numbers in here. And that's really all I need to do in there. And I will slide that over and click OK. Now let's save this guy and let's regenerate our PDF target and take a look and see how it's different. So it's done. Double click this. Slide it on over. Let's make this 50%. And so we got our title page at the beginning. No page number. It's not in there. The TOC is using the same page layout, so the same margins and stuff, no page number. And then we get down here. This is using our chapters page layout, so I get my page numbers down in here all the way to the bottom. And that's it. And so you got your PDF. Now, one thing you might notice is my cool PDF. That's the title page. And it's shown in the generated TOC. And that's happening because this is using the same H1 style as all of these other chapters. And so it's putting it in here. And I'm going to show you in the rest of the videos in this series how to get around that. And it has to do with this style in your style sheet called this property called MC heading level. You can do all kinds of things with it. Manipulate what's what is using what. But we got our basic PDF. That was what we wanted to do. It's very simple, but there you go. It's all done. So we did it. We created PDFs, both using the template, that was super fast, as well as just kind of building one from the ground up, and that was pretty easy. So it's all done. Now, what's next? What else? What's going on after this in this video series? Well, I'm going to be repeating a lot of these same concepts, going into them more deeper, explaining more, and then we're going to use other concepts, other files, other methods to create more customized PDF. So if you want something that's much fancier and you want to use a lot more bells and whistles and really get into it, you want to watch the rest of the videos starting with the next one. If you're not interested in that, maybe you skip ahead to the video on images or page breaks to learn a little bit about that, because even if you have a simple PDF created, you are likely to have images and page breaks and those things. All right, so that's going to do it for this video. I will see you in the next one.